Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
Kugan Cassis for iFall TV in association with McIntyre in Marbella. We're at the Gaylord, is it here, Frank?
Very appropriately named.
Here in Texas, ahead of tomorrow night's. Well, by the time this actually goes out to the people at home, it will be tonight. Liam Smith's huge opportunity here, and it's funny you saying that because he's the champion, and we're saying it's a huge opportunity for him to come to America and really make a statement.
Well, it is. I mean, obviously he is the champion, but you know, the guy who's probably the biggest name in US boxing, in the world of boxing, is CANELO. And it's a real tough fight for Liam. He's coming to the other guy's backyard. There's 60,000 fans going to be there, and you know, I would say 99% of them are going to be cheering CANELO on. It's Mexican Independence Day, so you can imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like. It's a public holiday for the Mexicans. And then we're coming over the border into Texas, into Dallas to see the fight. And you know, Liam's got it all to do. You know, he has got it all to do, but he's got a great temperament. He's got a great chin. He can fight. It's a big step up for him as far as class compared with his previous fights. But I think he's the type of fighter that rises to the occasion. I think he needs that challenge, and he certainly up to now hasn't been fazed by it in the slightest. He's been very cool and calm, and it's quite surprising under the circumstances. But come fight night, it's just him and CANELO in the ring. And CANELO, I don't think he's fought at 154 pounds for could be a couple of years now, hasn't it? He's fought 155s and just over. So he's had to come down and make championship weight. I think which it is in Liam's favour. And when you look at the two of them standing up close on the face-off, Liam looks a much bigger guy. And I just feel that he's as far as they're concerned, I think it's going to be an upset for him.
Frank, Liam's had 2 defences of his title, and the level of opposition compared to who he's facing tonight, shall we say, is miles apart. You have tried to get him those in-between fights that could have prepared him better, shall we say, for someone like CANELO. Well,
we did try to make the Cotto fight, and that was... we spoke to BoxNation about it. We just couldn't get anywhere. They wanted to do it, but there was problems with Cotto, sort of been pretty inactive since. And then we made Kell Brook an exceptional offer, and I think we would have got that fight done. And I think that's the result of us making the offer, that Kell Brook wound up fighting Golovkin, because I think we'd have, that would have been a good fight for him, and certainly would have been I thought a winning fight for him. I'm sure Kell Brook would have been more comfortable at 154 pounds, light middleweight. But he then went off and fought Golovkin last week.
We'll come on to that then. First of all, were you ultimately surprised by the outcome of that?
No, I've said in my column, I just didn't see what Kell could bring that he had to beat Golovkin with. I really didn't. It wasn't. He was coming up a couple of weights. He suddenly started putting on a lot of weight, and you look at Golovkin. He's a bit like Klitschko. He's a bit like Mayweather. They keep themselves really well. They don't let their bodies blow up in weight. I think he was about 5 pounds overweight. Was it over a month ago? And everybody was saying, Kell will have the weight advantage. It's just God knows what planet they're on, what they're thinking about. They fight at middleweight and they fight on the championship weight, and he is a natural middleweight, and he's a tough middleweight. He's a strong middleweight. I know he's 34 and that years of age now, but there's nobody would say, no, there's certainly no one who's going to come up a couple of divisions who are going to beat him. And I just felt that when he fought Kell, who's very brave in taking the fight, it's a big payday for him, but it was he's like a bit like Liam, that they're willing to fight the best, which is really what boxers should be doing. I think that when he once he got in there, he got caught in the first round, didn't he? He went a little bit, and I thought at that stage Golovkin just said, right, I'm going to just stand toe to toe with you, because he's a good boxer. Golovkin didn't box, he just stood in front of him. I've seen him box much better, and he just took the best shots that Kell could throw at him, absorbed them, and said, right, I'm sure from a boxer's point of view, when you're hitting guys with your best shots and you're not moving them, you think, oh, what do I do now? And he in the fourth round, you could see the writing on the wall, and I thought Dominic Ingle, in between rounds when he had the towel over Kell's head, he said, I'm sure he told him that he was going to give him another round and pull him out. And he did the right thing the next round by pulling him out. He'd done him a big favour, Dominic. Kell afterwards said he had an injury to his eye, and he said, he see 4 of Golovkin in front of him. Seeing one of them in front of you is bad enough, without seeing 4 of them. But he's a fabulous fighter, and to me it was never in any doubt what the result would be in that fight. Maybe Kell should have fought Liam, and then the winner could have gone on and fought either Golovkin or fought CANELO. But we've made our decisions and we've made our fights, and I think Liam, who is a natural light middleweight against CANELO, I think it'd give CANELO a lot of problems.
Who did you think before last week had the harder task from Liam and Kell?
Oh, I think Kell had the harder problem, coming up a couple of weights, and he's in with a phenomenal puncher and a good boxer.
Obviously, the press conference yesterday, a lot of media there, and they're not all going to be aware of Liam Smith. He was being talked about very well by certain people on the top table who have seen Liam firsthand, but a lot of the press wouldn't have been aware quite so much of Liam, but hopefully come Saturday night they will.
Well, I think that's the good thing, and that helped make the fight, in as much that from CANELO's point of view, he had to make a statement. He weren't going to fight Golovkin because he says he's light middleweight, and he obviously made the limit today, so that is his natural weight at the moment. And he had to fight for a championship. So we were in the right place at the right time. But what we've got to do now is capitalise on it. And Liam's got a great chance to be on the world stage. A lot was said last week how Kell Brook come out of the fight with a lot of kudos. Whether he did or he didn't, I don't know. I mean, he's brave in that, but he was emphatically beaten. This is a chance for Liam, on the big stage, in the other guy's backyard, in front of 60,000 Mexicans, to go and make a statement. And I think whatever happens in this fight, I think Liam will come out with a lot of credit.
Just sort of going back to Golovkin, you told us the other day that obviously you were going to have conversations and start talks with Tom Loeffler about Billy Joe Saunders. Has anything progressed from that since?
Well, we've had conversation, and we're sort of chatting in general, but obviously he's got to get his fight out of the way on the 29th. So get that out of the way, and I think they would be in a position, excuse me, to hopefully get the fight on in February.
And as regards to an opponent for Billy Joe on the 29th of October, someone who obviously will be ranked within the top 15 of the WBO, is there a couple of possibilities?
There is a couple. There's what's his name, Avakov and Rob Bryan.
So it'll be out of one of those two?
Yeah, but we're looking at it at the moment. Hopefully we get that sorted out.
When you were talking to Tom Loeffler, was there an indication that Golovkin would be willing to come back to the UK?
Well, I think he said that publicly, hasn't he? He said he'd come back. He got a great reception. Him fighting Bill now is a bigger fight than him fighting Bill before, because obviously, you know, public have seen him. He got great press, he got great mileage, and showed what a devastating fighter he can be. But Bill thinks there's some flaws there, and looking at that fight, it was because he took a few shots, but he's that type of fighter who's willing to do that. But Bill's not Kell Brook. You know, Bill's a totally different fighter. He's obviously he's a natural. He's a natural middleweight. He's got a great pedigree as an amateur. He's got a great pedigree as a pro. He's got great footwork. He's a good boxer. He's got a good jab. So it'll be an interesting fight.
Someone on the bill on the undercard of CANELO and Smith is Gabriel Rosado. He's made some comments over the last couple of weeks about Billy Joe Saunders, in his words, not taking the fight with him for this week.
Well, he didn't take the fight because we never, you know, it was the end of the day, it's my decision who Bill was going to fight, and that was not, he wasn't he wasn't the guy we was talking about, or fight, you know, talking about fighting. But you know, and Bill, you know, took his foot off the gas a bit in training because you know, who is he fighting? Is he fighting? Is he fighting? And I don't think Bill would have been in that, you know, on this date today. I don't think he'd been 100% fit to box. I think he was a little bit behind with his training, so you know, the delay has given him an opportunity to come in for his next fight 100%, which is how I want it to be.
So recently also you confirmed the announcement of the rematch between Fury and Klitschko for that day, like we said, on October the 29th. Had a press conference the other day. It was quite disappointing that Tyson Fury wasn't there.
It was very disappointing.
But obviously he was asked a couple of questions by the press about the situation regarding the hearing. I understand there's certain things you can't talk about in relation to that, but what can you tell us about you being confident that that fight takes place no matter what?
Well, I think we made it very clear, and it's a matter of a court ruling. I think his name's Mr. Flint, who's hearing the matter, has said that the fight will go ahead, and any allegations against Tyson will be heard after the fight, and that's the position. There's no way this fight is getting stopped by that, and it's all misinformation that keeps being put out. I think UCAD are dreadful the way they behaved in this. You know, the way they talked to the press, and so much so that Team Fury were in court last Friday before the press conference to get the judge to make a ruling on it, and that's exactly what he did.
Moving on to the other specific bit of news that come out of obviously Monday was the launch of your BoxNation box office, which will kick off with that 29th of October date.
Correct.
This is something that obviously we spoke about a few months ago. And I'm assuming it's taken this amount of time to sort of put this together.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a stall in the negotiations, but we got it over the line, and the BoxNation channel 490 will be showing the fight on a pay-per-view, and if you're a Sky subscriber, you can go to BoxNation pay-per-view, press your button and buy it as you would do a Sky box office fight. It's exactly the same scenario. So for us, it's opened a big market for us. It's great for the Sky subscribers because they have access to buy the fights, and for BoxNation subscribers, they will still pay their normal subscription fee and still see the fight.
So for already existing BoxNation subscribers, they get to watch that fight regardless, which is what George obviously made clear at the press conference.
Yeah. And this is a BoxNation event. It's not a Sky box office event. It's a BoxNation, but it's available to Sky customers.
How do you project that first one going in terms of price?
It should go very well. It's a big fight. It's a eagerly awaited rematch. It's had its stops and starts with injuries and various things, but I think once we get to fight week, I think it's going to be dominating the sports pages. You know, Tyson's a very colourful guy. He's he's the best heavyweight in the world at the moment. He's holding the belts that matter. He's the linear champion, and he's fighting the second best active heavyweight in the world in Klitschko. So Klitschko's got everything to lose now. If he gets beat again, I think that'd be the end of him. And he seems, as you see at the press conferences, supremely confident he can win the belt, his belts back, or the belts back, not his belts. And he seems supremely confident. But I just feel that Tyson is, I think he's a level above all these heavyweights at the moment.
But obviously, it has been a frustrating period where for nearly, when he fights in October, it will be nigh on a year. Injured,
out. It's a terrible scenario. But I think when the then Cassius Clay, who become Muhammad Ali, beat Sonny Liston, I think that fight, the rematch, didn't take place for well over a year. And it was what it was. But I just feel that Tyson. It's a shame for Tyson. They've got this rematch clause, so it's in there. And they got to do what they got to do with that to make it work. But I think that's led to him being inactive as well. He could have had a couple of defences under his belt. But anyway, he's got to get the fight out of the way and then make 2017 a big year for himself. There's some great fights out there to be made. And we can watch them on BoxNation box office.
On that card as well, a big fight for Hughie Fury against the unbeaten Andy Ruiz.
It's a good fight. That's a good,
difficult fight as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great card.
Yeah. So Billy Joe Saunders will be on that.
Yeah.
Hughie Fury, obviously Tyson and Klitschko.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility Terry Flanagan could be on the bill or not?
Not at the moment, no, because we hopefully will be announcing next week who Terry's fighting and when he's fighting. We're quite close to delivering something I hope he'll be pleased with.
You've got a show October the 22nd in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Semi-headlined by Patterson Williams and also Eubank Jr. and Tommy Langford.
Yeah.
You did express some concerns about getting Eubank to a press conference the other day.
Well, it's 4 times now. He's had 4 times, and the Boxing Board of Control actually written to him or spoken to him and told him he's got to appear at a press conference next Wednesday, 1 o'clock next Wednesday. So I expect him to be there. And if he's not there, I'm going to dock another 25 grand off the purse bid.
When I saw the fight posters the other day, there was also a notable fighter that was on that bill in Chris Eubank's son Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Another Eubank on the. Well, he's not a Eubank. He's actually a Wilson. But
he's Wilson, where is he? He's not a bad fighter. He's signed with us, so it'd be nice for him to, he's for box on one of my shows.
How many fights has he had now?
Well, he's had about 4 or 5 now. About 4, I think.
Be interesting. He's definitely got the look of his dad.
Well, the first thing is let's see if he, let's see. It's great to you can compare him with their fathers. A bit like, Nigel Benn. His boy's doing okay at the moment. So let's see what the other Eubank or Wilson's, what he's made of. But he seems supremely confident. So he's got the confidence. So we'll see.
That's obviously a good little card there as well with Bradley Skeet and Shane Singleton.
It's a good big card.
Good big card. Good little card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Frank. Yeah. And Anthony Yardy will be on there, who's obviously
he's
fighting in
great opportunity
in Texas. I'll say tonight because it's going out when this goes out. So that's a great opportunity for Anthony Yardy as well.
It's a good experience to be on the stage, and it's obviously a good experience to be around a big show. I remember I took Ricky Hatton out, and he fought Madison Square Garden. I think it was in his 2nd fight when Naz fought Kevin Kelly. And I promoted the show at Madison Square Garden. So it's that similar sort of thing. It's going to get a buzz out of it.
So obviously this week in Dallas is almost coming to a close. Been a good week here for you?
Yeah, I mean, fight week is always hectic, and it's good. What I like about it is seeing a lot of people, I've known for years, and you sort of, we've got fighters on the bill, you all meet up, and you have a bit of a laugh and a chat about things and old times and that, and new times, and it's good. And obviously, we do a bit of business when we're all here together as well. So, yeah, it's good.
I can't believe how much everyone was bigging you up at the press conference. It was
Pardon?
like, I said, I can't believe how much everyone was bigging you up at the press conference. It was like one after the other. First was Oscar, then it was Paco, then it was Artie, and then everyone just all had their say about you. So not everyone dislikes you, do they, Frank?
Only my so-called composition.
Only
My so-called composition.
I'm only joking, Frank.
Oh no.
Everyone in this room likes you now, so that's
Yeah,
all you need to know,
yeah,
really.
well, I'm paying everyone's wages, that's why. So why wouldn't I?
But tomorrow could be, say tomorrow, I'm going to say tonight again, it could be.
Let me tell you what it is. If he wins this fight, and he's up against everything. Somebody said to me the other day, it'd be, what do I think? I said in my time in boxing, it'd be the biggest on paper upset in boxing. And somebody went, no, what about when Turpin beat Ray Robinson? And Ray Robinson was a great fighter, but Turpin beat him in the UK. And Robinson, I think, had seen a little bit better days. Yeah, well, not bad. Canelo Alvarez, he's the top of his game. He's 26 years of age and he's got 60,000 Mexicans supporting him. So Liam's going well and truly into the Mexican lion's den, or whatever you want to call it. He's in there, and for every
El Den, they call it.
El Deno, or wherever it is. Yeah. Anyway, he's going in there, and if he comes through and he's successful, for me, it's the biggest achievement of any British boxer in my time. And I've taken fighters like Joe Calzaghe to beat. I'm talking about in the States. He beat Bernard Hopkins. Naz beat Kelly in New York, in Kelly's hometown. We took Danny Williams and he done Tyson. No one fancied him. He was like I think he was about 200-1 underdog and beat him. So there are, there've been some big upsets. Another, recently Kell Brook had a good fight in the States, didn't he, when he beat Sean Porter.
2 years ago.
But Sean Porter is not Alvarez. He's considered to be over here the biggest name and the biggest attraction in boxing.
You'd have to have had Fury going out to Germany to beat Klitschko.
Yeah, oh, sorry, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm talking about him coming to America. That was a phenomenal, and he's deserved to be voted Fighter of the Year for that. And Peter, his uncle, Trainer of the Year for that. That was a tremendous achievement. But this is a hostile environment that he's in, and this guy is big box office out here. So if he does it, if he retains his title, and as I say, I fancy he's got a real good chance to do so, then it's going to be brilliant. It'll be brilliant for him. It'll set him up, big time.
You said the stadium was the most impressive one that you'd ever seen.
Well, it is, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it's phenomenal, the place. I mean, you walk around it, it's like state of the art. Screens as big as a football pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a phenomenal stadium, and Jerry Jones, who put the money up to bring the fight here, he's built something a little bit special there.
I liked his little intro yesterday when he said, 27 years ago I was given the opportunity to buy the Dallas Cowboys, so I did. I was like, all right, like you do, as you do. But he's like the king of Dallas, really, isn't he? Jerry.
Well, he is. He's Mr. Dallas. There's no doubt about that. He's what he's done. The guy that it's a funny thing. It's a bit like football in England. If you're in the old days, he used to be the chairman of the club, and the chairman of the club was like Mr. He was Mr. Burnley or Mr. Birmingham or Mr. Liverpool. That's what they were. And they was being this guy. It's the same here. These are massive, big franchises, huge business. But he's. It's a fantastic stadium, and the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. It's going to be great.
Does that make you Mr. Hertfordshire? Does that make you Mr. Hertfordshire?
Not Mr. Hertfordshire. I think Mr. Turnford. Mr. what?
Mr. Bus.
Mr. Bus. Yeah.
I'm Liam Smith. Watch my fight with Canelo Alvarez this Saturday live on BoxNation.